Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Denise Salcedo, and ahead of UNF 16, I'm hanging out here with Matthew Nestor. Matthew Nestor is about to have his third fight with UNF. Before we get into that third fight, Matthew, first and foremost, how did your first two fights go?
First fight, I got a second round submission against Isaio Munoz, and then my second fight against Griffin Rodriguez, I hurt my knee the end of the first round, so the doctor stopped it in between. So.
Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Everything. I'm assuming is all good now. Yeah.
Yeah, all good. It took 2 months to heal up. That was back in July, so I've been training for 5 months now. I'm good.
Oh, okay. What was wrong with it? What happened?
I got a partial tear on my ACL. But like I said, healed up 2 months. I was back to sparring within like 3 weeks of it happening.
Thank goodness that it was just a partial tear, because that's definitely the last thing you want to have to worry about, of course. So, you're going into this third fight. I learned that they recently just told you who your opponent is. Any details that you can give us on that?
I don't know too much about him. I know he's 0-2, but, I mean, records can be deceiving. So I'm going to treat him like he's an undefeated champion. But, yeah, he's coming from San Francisco, I think. We're going to do a catch weight of about 150, I believe. Yeah, let's get it going.
Hell yeah, that's exactly the attitude that I believe you have to have. See everybody as, undefeated, or however it is that you want to look at them. So, going into 2024, we're talking about new year, new you. For you, Matthew, what are the goals? What are the things that you want to make sure that you accomplish for 2024 in and out of MMA?
So in MMA, I definitely want to fight at least once professionally by the end of 2024. Hopefully a lot more than that, like 2 or 3 times. And then outside of MMA, I don't know, maybe just getting my brown belt later on this year. Just teaching more classes, that kind of stuff.
That's really cool, man. Now, I know, Matthew, that sometimes, when you sat here, it was funny because the first thing I asked you was, Matthew, remind me how old you are. And the first thing I told you was, I always thought that you were, younger than what you said. So for you, when you are out there, do you feel like your opponents ever underestimate you?
I think my first fight, he definitely did, because he was 30. I was 20, so there's a 10-year age gap. Griffin was similar in age. He was a little older than me, so not too sure about him. This next guy, I have no clue how old he is. I just got a name and a record, so yeah, we'll see.
How do you sort of prove yourself? Obviously, you prove yourself when it comes to your fighting and whatnot, but in terms of mentality, how do you go about that?
I just train. If you do the proper preparation, there shouldn't be any doubt when you get in the fight. At the end of the day, it is a fight, so anything can happen, but you shouldn't be nervous in there if you do the right training.
Exactly that. Well, Matthew, I have one last and final question for you, and that is, when you look back at the MMA career that you've had, and obviously you're very young, so you've had some really good moments, but what would you say has been your most favorite moment of your career so far?
Of my career, I mean, the submission win, that's pretty cool, but I think the second fight has been my favorite, even though it didn't really go my way too much. Yeah, it was just a good experience, kind of, to take a loss, so to say, kind of heal up from an injury and then come back from it.
It feels like it made you as a person stronger, because not only did you have to experience a loss, which nobody wants to, but you eventually have to someday, right? But also, the injury on top of that. So it's almost like a double whammy, but you came back from that stronger.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the thing after the fight, I was mainly just more worried about, my leg and all that. But, a couple weeks after, I was kind of taking in the loss a little bit. But, it happens.
Yes. Well, you know what, Matthew? You're going to come back stronger and better, and can't wait to see you fight at UNF 16. For those of you who want to check that out, the link to purchase your tickets is in the description box of this video. Do not forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next interview.